Happy evening to you, my friends. Tonight we're going to discuss something quite different than what I normally discuss, which is knives and guns or homeschool or chickens or whatever. I get a lot of questions about this from people here in my hometown and from people on YouTube. I get emails and things about it. So we're going to talk about it. What does heaven look like? Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? What does heaven look like? In 2017, I was in New Mexico with my military unit. I had a massive widowmaker heart attack, 100% blockage. Took them a couple hours to get me to the hospital in El Paso. When they got me there, I was dead in the parking lot. Probably the reason that my right eye doesn't open as good as it should. Anyway, so I was dead in the parking lot. They work on me and do whatever they do, shock and adrenaline and all that stuff, and they get me in the hospital. I have no idea all this is going on. Because while all this chaos is going on, machines whirring and lights blaring and noises, people yelling and hollering and throwing stuff, I didn't see any of it. I was flatline, dead. Got the papers to prove it. When you die, a strange thing occurs. You go to a different place. And I've heard, hey, I'm a big skeptic, man. I was a cop for years in the military. I don't trust many people. No people, except RC, my wife, my daughter. That's about it. So I don't trust anybody outside my walls, you know? And I guess the thing that, when I got to this place, it's very difficult for me to explain even today. When I got to this place, there was no chaos. It was a place, but it was different than a place here. There were no gates and stuff. And like I say, I've been a skeptic all my life. I don't trust and don't believe until I see things, touch things, feel things. And that's when I think that they're real. That's when I know, when I've experienced it myself. So I've seen the Geraldo shows and the Jerry Springer shows and all that. And I died and I walked around with Jesus, and I've seen the movies and all these things. You know, I get that. I've seen it all. And I figure, hey man, good story. You convinced a lot of people. I'm not here to try to convince anybody. I'm just here to tell you exactly what happened to me. I'm not going to embellish it. I'm not going to add anything at all to anything. I'm not going to take anything away. But I can tell you what heaven looked like to me. First, people are going to say, how did you know it was heaven? Because once you transcend to the other side, once you go there, it's like you have this understanding. It's like instant knowledge. You just know. You just know what's going on. You're not sitting around thinking, hey man, I'm dead, or hey man, that sucked, or boy, that was painful. Because there, you have no thoughts of things here. So when you get there, thoughts of here are over. You don't think about your wife or your kids or your husband or your bank account or your will or your house or the yard needing mowed. You don't think about anything here. I looked down. I didn't have any legs. Didn't have any feet. Didn't have anything. There was nobody there. You know, I look around. It's black. Everywhere you look is black. It's beyond darkness. It's just black, void of all things, Nothing there. It's like I call it my room. You know, it was my room in heaven. Golden streets I didn't see. Pearly gates I didn't see. But what did I see is the black. But that's not what heaven is for me. You know, heaven for you may be totally different. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you that heaven for me was a room. And it was a room of peace. Peace that you cannot know here on earth, in this realm, in this life. When you wake up in the morning, you make decision after decision after decision. I'm going to open my eyes. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to brush my teeth. Brushing your teeth. How many decisions is that? Left and right, left and right. Toothpaste on the thing. Left and right, left and right. How many decisions is that? They come so automatic. But for me to open my hands, I have to, somewhere in my subconscious, in my mind, I have to say, open your hands. If I didn't say that, my hands wouldn't be open. So I have to do that. So I make 1,000,000 decisions a day, just like you do. There are no decisions. The decision's made for you. You're there in your room. So one thing about heaven that is different, I have my own room. And it was infinite. It was black. There were no doors or windows. There were no walls. There was nobody there with me. Nobody came, took me to the light or all of, none of that. But it was peace. Peace beyond our knowledge. Peace beyond what you could believe. Eternal peace. That's heaven. That's the heaven that I experienced. My grandmother showed up nearing the end of my time there. She looked at me. She just kind of came through the darkness, just like that. She just kind of came through the darkness and her face was there. And she looked like she did when I was probably 10 or 12 years old. And this is hard to talk about sometimes. But her face came through the darkness, and it was sweet and beautiful. She put out her hand and she said, "You're going to be just fine." It's like she pushed me away. It was like she pushed me away, and when she pushed me away, I immediately sat up straight. My hospital bed. And there were everybody was everywhere. And there was the chaos, the noise, the chaos, the yelling, the screaming, the throwing, the machines whirring and beeping and clanging, and then I died again. They brought me back after the second time. Somebody stuck a phone to my face, and I got to say, "I love you" to my wife. Told her, I've had a heart attack. This is what's going on, but I'm going to be okay. They're doing surgery. I'm going to be okay. Man, that was a lie. That was a huge lie. I thought I was dead. And I thought I was going to die. And I was 1,000 miles away from everybody that I knew and loved. It was nuts, man. So there I was. They took the phone away. I died again. 6 times that day, I died. Over and over and over. Like I said before, I got the paperwork to prove it. I've asked the doctors, I've asked the therapist, how do you explain all this stuff that happens after death? Well, Nah, wait a minute. Is it a brain thing? Is it brain function? My doctor said, hey man, you were gone too long. Too many times you had no brain function. That's why my eye don't open like it should. That's why I have problems remembering things all the time. That's why I do stuff that other people don't do. You know, I say things that other people. You know, I'm a little wild and crazy now. So, heaven is a room with eternal peace. Your family will be there. They'll be waiting on you. And they will show up at some point. And they'll tell you you're going to be okay or welcome. My grandma told me you're going to be just fine. Pushed me away. And then the biggest part of heaven for me is the understanding that you get from being there. Because once you leave here, once you leave this earthly plane and you go, you understand. You have an understanding. People are going to say, oh, you need to know, I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. So there is no doubt Jesus and God exist in my life. There is no doubt that God was there. God did not bring me back 6 times to sit on my butt. So I work, do things, I do a lot of stuff. And, you know, the understanding that you get is, I can't even explain it. Heaven is for everyone. You say that can't be right. It can't be right. Because heaven is not a place separate from hell. I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not a big church going guy or whatever. But heaven up here and hell down here is off. It's one place. Everybody goes there. The fire and brimstone that you hear your preacher talking about, it's what's in here. Your soul. Your soul. That is what you're going to spend eternity with. And if you're Adolf Hitler, that's going to be a shitty eternity. That's the understanding that I was given. If you're me, your eternity won't be so bad. It's going to be pretty good. People that you know and love are going to be there. You're going to see them. You're not going to have thoughts of people here. And people are going to question me on that and say, hey man, I'm going to be watching out for my family. You may watch out for your family. But tell me what it's like when you're watching over your daughter and she's sleeping with some guy that you hate. Not a peaceful eternity. So, even the Bible will tell you that people there have no thoughts of people here. That's just what it is. All the Bible stories that we hear when we're kids, very simple. Very simple. The answer is very simple. One, there is a God. Some people may call God something else. They may call God Buddha. They may call God the universe. They may call God whatever. There's one God. And that God is God to many. Many. Everybody. Whether they choose to follow God or not. God is still God. Man, woman? No. What do you mean no? Man or woman? Yes or no? No. God is not man and woman. God is God. You can put whatever kind of picture you want on the end of a popsicle stick and make it look like whatever you want. But God is God. God transcends all those things. God is not a man. Man is man. God is not woman. Woman is man. God exists. There is a higher power. That's all you need to know. It's very simple. Man is man. God is God. There's not 30 gods. There's not a God as the sun and a God of the moon and a God of this and that. God's God. God's God of everything. And in heaven, your eternity will be of your own choosing. You know, if you rob and rape and pillage and plunder and kill and do all these horrible things, that's going to be your eternity. You're going to live with the echoes of that life for eternity. Nothing but that. No family, no friends, a room with nothing. Black. Just like my room, it's black. With good thoughts, happiness, laughter, friends, family come by to see me. I go by to see them. Heaven is a room. That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. I'm not adding anything to it. I'm not taking anything away from it. When you go, you will know, and you will get the understanding that there is God. Did I live the life that God wanted me to live? Don't get me wrong, no one's perfect. God doesn't expect perfection. We call it sin. God doesn't really think of things like that as sin. God thinks of things as mistakes. And in the end, you know whether something was a mistake or if it was purposeful. So, did you do something on purpose? If you did, then you need to make that thing right. If you made a mistake, we all make mistakes. But if you're doing harm purposely, you need to make that right. Because your eternity does wait. Waits on all of us. We're all there when we go from here. Moms, dads, grandmas, uncles, friends, wives, cousins. We're all there. Like I say, it's a lot different than the pictures that you see portrayed of wonderful golden things and sunbeams and cherubs running around strumming stuff. I'm sure I'll get some backlash from different communities in the religious sector, but that's okay. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not here to convince me. I was there. I know what happened. One day you will be there and you will know what happens. A lot of people ask these questions, so I'm throwing out my answer to the question. Not trying to start a fight or not trying to ignite some big religious fire. Don't go to church, don't go to church. You know, if COVID's going on, you don't have to go to church. Church is for people. Church is for man. Oh, people are going to scold me over that one, but church is a man-made thing. What happens between you and God is between you and God. So, if going to church makes you happy, go to church. If it doesn't, don't go. Church is difficult for some people. You don't have to go to have a relationship with God. It's not a prerequisite. Well, hey, that is my spiel on that. RC's gonna cry. Sorry, brother. All right, so that is my spiel on what is heaven. What's heaven like? There you go. Heaven is your own room that awaits you. What's in that room with you is of your own choosing. Look at Ebenezer Scrooge, We know what his choosing was going to be, and then he switched that around. Not saying that was a true story. I know it was not a true story, but, Ghost of Christmas Past doesn't have to be a ghost. It's just memories. Thoughts of things that you have done, places you have gone, things that have happened to you. Forgive, forget, live as peacefully as you can. I know it's not always 100% possible, but live as peacefully as you can. Because you know whether things are malicious and purposeful or whether they're not. So there you go. All right, everybody, I'm going to shut it off. 20 minutes of this is just about enough. All right, so anyway, hey, click the like, subscribe, do that little bell thing so it'll give you a hint when we're going to be putting out another video if you really want to see one. But anyway, hey, Kelly Baker with BC Tactical. I hope you guys have an outstanding evening. Hope you enjoyed my new camera. I certainly have. So there you go. We love you guys. Keep on watching. Tell your friends. All right. For all of us here at BC Tactical, have a good night.